Of all the major platforms out there, the Nintendo Switch is without a doubt the best of them when it comes to shoot 'em ups, not only thanks to the ingenious flip grip which allows you to play your shmups in Tate mode if the games support it, but also due to the sheer number of awesome games available. Today we're going to be taking a look at RPM Punk Mayhem though, a stylish vertical scrolling shmup with some frantic bullet hell gameplay and a unique teleporting mechanic for you to master should you want to make it through unscathed. So let's get started. So in the brief intro to the game we get a short backstory to set the scene for us, in which a group of renegades travel back in time to the year 20XX to free the world from the skin-headed dictatorship of the Baldies organisation, and according to them, save everyone's hair in the process. But that's about it. That's all you get as far as the storyline goes with this one, and one might say it's a little thin on top, but that would be me making a pun, and I'm not about to do that now. So after a flashy seizure-inducing title screen, and please be aware that there's a lot of flashing in the game, so take this as a warning, we then get to the main menu where we can view a not so helpful guide, play around with the settings and enable Tate mode should we choose to do so, or begin a new game, and we get 3 characters to choose from. Each of these comes with their own projectile patterns and health bars with damage substituted for survivability, but we have Cassio, who is the tank of the group with a large health pool and a trio of bullets to distribute, Gorgonzola, who dishes out big damage with dual heat-seeking missiles but has the lowest health of the bunch, and Former, the balanced option with mid-health and damage. Dropping into the game, we're thrown right into the action though, and to cover off controls, it's pretty much your standard shmup setup here. We can move with a D-pad or thumbstick, shoot by tapping the B button, and are able to hold the B button to fire a beam of energy, which also reduces your movement speed, allowing you to carefully navigate between the hail of projectiles that come your way. The unique mechanic in this one is the teleporting though, whereby a dotted line will slowly expand out around you, and with a push of the A button you can slow down time and move anywhere within the circle, which will then slowly begin to collapse back in on itself. Touching the edge of it or pressing the A button again will then teleport you to the new location, and this is used extensively in both the levels themselves and the boss battles, allowing you to dodge past unavoidable terrain and attacks or get yourself out of tricky situations, teleporting past bullies to safety. This mechanic requires both precision, speed and practice to master, as there's a short delay before it activates, which means timing is key, and to start with it can be pretty frustrating to get to grips with. But once you nail it, it's a solid mechanic which rewards skillful gameplay and adds a unique twist to some already solid bullet hell shooting. Finally, your ultimate get out of jail card is your bomb, which by holding down your teleport button takes a few seconds to activate, but then destroys all on-screen projectiles and deals massive damage to enemies. The downside to this is that the bomb will cost you a health point, but it's a good screen clearer to reset the playing field, especially if you're going to take that damage anyway. Now, like I said, the gameplay in this one is overall pretty solid, and although I wouldn't say there was anything wholly innovative when it comes to the enemies, with the vast majority of them firing off standard projectiles in various shapes and forms, the way in which the teleport mechanics are incorporated into it make up for what it lacks in originality. The same can be said of the level design. While the vast majority of them will see you flying through open terrain, allowing you ample room to take down the bad guys and dodge bullets, there are sequences which involve utilising your teleport to dodge impassable terrain, snag power-ups which include additional health and bullet upgrades, and zap out of the way of flying spike blockades. If you're going for that high score though, you're going to have to memorise enemy spawn patterns, master your teleport, and learn when to hold that fire button and when to mash it like a maniac. And there's a combo system in the game which allows you to gain big points by collecting the skull pickups which drop when enemies die. When it comes to the boss battles, they're all pretty well done, with choreographed bullet patterns for you to learn, which once again require some careful timing with your teleports. However, I did find some of them a little too difficult to master, and some of the bullet patterns were a little too hectic for my liking. But this brings me on to my two main gripes with the game. The first of them being that the game is pretty tough, and I'd say I'm fairly competent at shmups, but there were some segments which felt a little unfair to me, and there are no difficulty settings in this one. However, you are afforded a few continues which see you resuming from where you died, but also resetting your score to 0 at the same time. My second gripe is that some of the enemies just have way too much health, and I'm not just talking about the bosses here, as some of the standard enemies just refuse to die. And there are also sections where enemies travel behind you, but you have no way of shooting backwards, which only extends these battles or forces you to use your bombs to avoid a drawn out fight with them. Other than this though, Punk Mayhem is a very solid shoot 'em up through and through. And while I didn't manage to defeat the end boss in this one, I still placed 4th on the global leaderboard, which admittedly isn't much of an achievement considering the game had yet to be released, but I'll take it as a win anyway. Lastly, and not all leastly, to end on the visuals, as per usual, Panda Indie Studio have nailed it with this one. They're not overly detailed, but have a stylish comic book edge to them and some grimy punk aesthetics which really make it stand out amongst others in the genre, and there were no frame rate issues to speak of, even with the torrents of on-screen bullets. Oh, and the music is also pretty decent too. That though is about it for this review of RPM Punk Mayhem on the Nintendo Switch, and if you're a fan of shmups, consider checking out some of my other reviews of them on the channel. For now though, drop a like and subscribe for more Nintendo Switch content. Thanks to the patrons of the channel and to you the viewers for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves and game on.